if you're watching this video, you're probably watching it on one of these, and that is a mobile phone. And as much as we use them all the time, and they're just literally like a bionic extension of our existence, because you're literally like always this, you're always watching, observing, scrolling, texting, calling, doing something, some sort of verb that isn't improving your life. These things, literally, if you go back 20 years, the phone was literally a device to communicate, to speak on the phone and to text. There was no emails, there was no social media, there was no networking, there was no TikTok. And the phone was never the tool, but it was a trap, because now the fact that we have in the past probably 15 years, let's say, exploded in our use of social media, communication, network, email, WhatsApp, all the devices and tools and applications of things that make us absolutely glued to this device. It's just become something that as time has gone on, it's basically become an extension of the other issues that we're seeing in society. And hear me out here, because right now, like, everyone will blame TikTok, then Instagram, then YouTube Shorts. But like, I don't think any of that is always a problem. Don't get me wrong, that is a huge problem. But I think the phone itself is like the key problem, because we have such a very unhealthy relationship with our phones. Because I remember as a kid, I would look at my screen time and go, "Oh, 2 hours. 2 hours now is nothing. That's people's breakfast." But like, I would still use it as like I am going to sit and eat and watch something at the same time, but I will not eat without a YouTube video, right? And now I've gone back and reprogrammed my brain where I can enjoy something about having to have like a something in front of me all the time. Like, sometimes we'll just sit in bed eating dinner and we're just talking, or Mel's reading and I'm just here like just vibesing out in my head, right? But many of us need it as like a tool for distraction, but they need it as a tool for their business. They need it as something. They need it to be like, the whole concept of this thing is really bloody jarring. And going back to like the whole point of this video about like why it was never the tool but it's currently a trap, is because so many people fall into the trap where like we have these things, what I would call as like in between times, where like, let's say in between a meeting, you go on your phone, you scroll through some YouTube Shorts or TikTok, whatever, to get some like dopamine. I was like, oh, okay, cool, staying up today, staying up. It's a problem, because I remember as a kid I would always be like, oh, social media, I need to have Instagram because I need to stay up to date with like what other people are doing. Do you think anyone ever thinks about that about yourself? Do you think anyone cares about like what you're doing? No, because you should. Like, the problem is people care so much about what other people are doing in the modern day because they want to stay connected, they want to stay updated. But like, imagine if you gave that same level of attention to yourself, because you put in the effort around, oh, I know if I keep doing this, I can make some progress here. But it's like, no, 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 no. Let me get the pictures. Let me, get a story to prove about something. No one cares. No one cares. Like, the when I heard about like some of my friends or acquaintances, I'll definitely call them now. When they say like, oh, I've got like a haircut, and they're doing like that typical thing of like recording their haircut, you go, you're like a 25-year-old man and you're like doing this on social media. Like, there's like the occasional times like I'll go back onto Instagram, because I deleted a lot of my stuff on there, delete all social medias like outside of that too, where I've questioned like, why are we all on here faking it? And this is going into a bit of like a social media bashing, but like, you know how like when you go to a restaurant and people would basically sit with their family all sitting on their phones in a public restaurant. It's crazy, because like for me, I laugh at that stuff. Whenever like we would do that and go out for a meal, I'm very conscious that the phone stays in the pocket. Like, I recently went on a holiday as well with my family, and you just then observe like how other families are all doing the same thing. They're all scrolling, they're all on TikTok, they're all on Snapchat, they're all sending streaks in 2026. Like, no one cares. All this stuff is so fake, it's so just not like not valuable to your existence. Like, people have become so fixated with like staying up to date, notifications, having infinite access to people about like work or whatever. And that's a whole other thing I would like to talk about at one point, which is like how, because everyone has access to phones, their laptops, they work remote, because like they have access to the device that therefore conducts their business or conducts their work, especially for most people, you're probably working a job. Because you have access to the devices and the things that get you connected to your people at work means like that they can access you. That's the other problem. That's like another whole thing around the phone. But like we'll go into device usage as the couple weeks and months go by and doing stuff on this channel and making videos and just talking about things that need to be observed about, talked about, you know? And I feel like this is going all over the place because it's pretty more a reflection on my brain and me. But the phone is really stealing our attention. And I wouldn't say it's the phone because the phone is a device that makes calls and texts people. It's just the fact that they've got apps on there that enable people to basically replace whatever happens on in your external world or your internal world, however you want to view it, whether that's like your work, your hobbies, the things that you do, your family, like that has all kind of then been replaced with what's happening on here on your phone in like this virtual world. Like so many people care about what happens in these four corners or four edges of their screen more than what happens in the eyes of their own bloody brain and my brain, but their own the eyes in their own head, because they're more infatuated with what's going on there because that is seemingly more interesting to view the world in third person when you can see it here. Like it's crazy. Like when people like in a group chat say, "Oh, do you see this? Do you see that? Or did you see this on social media?" I'm like, I don't care. Do not ever raise that with me again. And no, I didn't because I don't give a, you know. And the scariest part about this, I don't know if you would want to like say it's the addiction part or it's the fact that people don't even notice it's happening, like their addiction to the phone, the constant scrolling, the needs for distractions in the in between times. Like going back to that in between times part of like, imagine when you're going for like a wee or you go to the bathroom, yeah, you're scrolling. I'm a sucker for this. Like, oh, I get a quick little break on my phone. Do. Okay, cool. It could be playing Clash of Clans for some people, Clash Royale, whatever. Like people used to do. I used to do all the time. Spend way too much time on the toilet, just on Clash Royale. And you're like, what the hell am I doing? But that is going into this whole point of like, this is an addiction, and that isn't even the scariest part. It's the fact that the people just don't even recognize like their own obsessions and addictions and infatuations with just keeping up to date with stuff. Like, as much as I love my family, like even my dad sometimes sends me Facebook reels or shorts. I'm just like, if someone who is over 50 years old is getting like into that habit loop of I'm going to look at my phone, I'm going to find out what's going on, stay on top of Facebook and reels and just scroll for a couple minutes or hours. For most people, minutes is a lie. If someone like of that age where like they haven't grown up with phones in terms of social media levels, where you have like instant access, you have like social media that's like pumping algorithm after algorithm of forced content and ideas of things that aren't even your own ideas, at what point do you start to question that addiction? Because this is a trap. If you look to your, like, I genuinely want you to go check your like screen time now. I'm really trying consciously, and I have done for about 6 to 12 months now, like to reduce screen time, reduce the apps on my phone, make my phone look boring. Like it's all like monotone scale. The only thing that's colorful is the picture of my partner who is on the background. And that is like the light of my day. When I look at my phone, like that's the happy face I love. But like people go on and when I see some people's phones and I see all the apps and they're just scrolling for pages, I'm like, you defo don't need that much. You're lying to yourself. You don't need that much stuff on your phone to keep you distracted, to go from here to here to, I need to go to Amazon, I need to go to eBay, then I need to go check out some portfolio, then I also need to do this. I mean, I do the portfolio thing because like I care about my investments and I run and manage that. But then I'm not going from like the app for this, the app for that, to buy some Uber Eats, then to get some Amazon orders because I need the dopamine rush. People are so fixated on the phone and it's scary because at some point this will be replaced, like the phone will be replaced with like a chip that goes in your neck or like in the space here wherever, like the Joe Rogan clip where he said like there's a pretty space on your elbow where like you don't need. When you become connected even more so with the machine and the device that is already so pertinent in your existence. It's not shaping up to be a productive future. It might be productive for the billionaires and the trillionaires of the world because they're able to squeeze the productivity from these devices and the people that are too distracted to think otherwise. But it's a scary thought. Like, this is the direction that we're heading in, and it's. I'm not gonna say like the first domino has been the phone and social media and that whole addiction spiral. Could be, but I wonder if in the future we're gonna look back, or some historians gonna look back on this video, or the content that has been created and gone. The warning signs were there because I think they are already. Why does why does business guru number 52 need to pump out 100 pieces of short form content a day to keep you involved in his or her social realm, to buy more stuff from them, to stay relevant, to make more money, to pump? And the system's wrong. I'm gonna say wrong, but there's flaws and there's issues. But like, it's built for the exploitation of your addiction on your phone, and you're not noticing it. And that's why I'm going to leave this video, because we got so much more to talk about on this. But yeah, we just scratched the surface, so we'll leave it there.